So you are a busy entrepreneur that want to get in shape but don't know what to do in the gym. Well, this is exactly what we are going to do today. I'm going to explain either if you want to gain strength, power, gain muscle, or lose fat, and also this is what we are, how you can build your routine around that. What are the pitfalls that you need to avoid to be able to do that? And take it from me, I'm an entrepreneur who also happen to be a professional athlete, so managing both at the same time is kind of the deal of what I'm just doing every single day. So let's get to it. First, the idea of the routine that you need to build. What you need to understand is going to the gym. First, you know you need to do it because you want to get in shape, but you have a lot of things to do. But the main issue that is going to happen when you go to the gym is, first of all, the time constraint to go there, but also the fatigue generated by the workout, which you don't want because you want to have enough energy to work on the things that actually matter. So the idea is to avoid those pitfalls and to be able to consistently go to the gym and avoid getting tired too much. You need to do two things. First, you need to make it a daily habit. Or pretty much, in general, you can get away with 2 or 3 sessions per week, but the issue with that is there are going to be big sessions, and big sessions create ton of fatigue. And so that's why you want to do about 6 sessions, but you want to keep it very short. About 15 to 20 minutes. And so to be able to do that, so that's kind of the key. You do it often, you do it light, not necessarily light, but in very short period of time, and you try to do it in a way that fits your day. For instance, if you at some point you are commuting, use that time to commute to stop to the gym, do your thing, come back home, or anything. Just try to make it so it fits you rather than you trying to fit the gym into your routine. That's kind of the main things. Now, how can you actually do things that are meaningful to get results out of this very little session? That's exactly the next point we need to cover here. So, when it comes, because the main issue that you have, okay, I want to go to the gym, but what should I do when I'm there? So, mainly if you want just to gain strength, let's say, or power, or just general fitness abilities, keep it very simple and stupid. You use the SBD. Squat, bench, deadlift. So you have your 3 big exercises. Those can cause a little bit of fatigue. So that's kind of on the 3. So you are going to the gym doing one of those. That's it. On 3 days of the week. Then on other days, what you are going to do, you are going to do a complementary exercise, which are mainly the back exercise. So this is any kind of rowing motion where you're pulling toward you. This can be pull-ups as well, pulling like that. So you work your backs here. You can do some core exercise also, but or variation of those just to stay in shape. But mainly when this is 3 main sessions. Then the other session will be about either working some light muscle that you don't really use often with those big exercise that we are going to see right now with the routine to actually gain muscle. And so you just need to choose which exercise are going to complement, because this is more focused on the quads and a little bit of the back. Then you have here, which is the chest, a little bit of triceps, and here this is kind of the back, the glutes, and the hamstrings. So for instance, on complementary days, there is mainly the I mean, here is not the back like the lat, but more the posterior chain to extend the back. So you have the lats that are not worked. You have the biceps that are not really worked here, so that can be complementary to when you are not doing them. That's pretty much it. So then, this is okay. You want to gain muscle. That's pretty much only what you want to do. You want to look bigger. So there is, first of all, a few things. When you want to gain muscle, the idea is, first of all, on the nutrition part, is to have a slight surplus in calories. I'm not telling you that you need to eat pretty much everything you want, but don't restrict yourself too much. That's just what I say. Then, this is about, you have on those 6 days, those 6 muscle groups that you are going to work, and you have plenty of time between 15 and 20 minutes to actually go after them a lot. So we have, first of all, chest. Doesn't work, this one. Chest. Then we have shoulders. I'm just looking at my own routine to make. This is in this order that I'm doing it during the week. So back, shoulders, back, arms, backs, arms, legs, abs. Sorry, first abs, and today I did abs, and legs. So that's pretty much the muscle group that you want to do. So chest is pretty much any exercise that is going to work your arm like this, pretty much. Even the press motion can work your chest as well, but any kind of this, you can use cable, you can use dumbbells, you can use kettlebells, doesn't matter. You can just copy people, just see when they are doing this. Pretty much this is about the chest. And then there is different angles, of course. That's just a fancy way to eat different muscle fibers, but if you're a beginner, you don't need to focus on that. Just pretty much. Then you have shoulders. So this is pretty much any kind of lifting motion, forward, on the side, a little bit backward maybe. So any kind of thing that just lift your shoulder. You can also use the rotator cuff, which is more the arm moving that way. Then you can work on it at this time if you have a little bit of time. Then back is really pretty much anything that is going to pull with the muscle of the back. Pull toward you. That's row, that's lat, pull down in that way. So pretty much anything that is pulling you. Then you have the arm, which is both biceps and triceps day. Bicep is simple, it's any movement that is actually bending the arm. So you can use cable, as I said, dumbbell, doesn't matter. Honestly, that's when you see all the variation, you see that that's so complex, there is so many things. It's actually pretty simple. And pretty much that, and so you may wonder why there is that much variety in terms of exercise to do just simple things. Well, it's because, as I said you, there is depending on the curve or strength curve of those machine or exercise, you are not eating the muscle the same way. So this is more for advanced lifter. But pretty much for biceps, as long as you are bending your arm and not moving your body at all, that's good. Triceps is the opposite. You are extending both arms. Boom. So pretty much with the hand like this, and bicep more with the hand like this. You can even do pull-ups for the biceps if you want, as long as you are trying to relax your back and only use your biceps. But that require a little bit of strength in the biceps. Let's say. Then abs. Pretty much you have the cable crunch, any kind of abs exercise only will do it. Don't forget to do the obliques. When I say abs, it's more abs/core. Any muscle that are kind of around your belly, And so abs is pretty much any movement that is bending your spine forward. As long as you are doing that, and as long as you are doing it with a load, that's okay. I'm going to go in detail into how much load you need to use and how many reps set you need to do for in general terms, just after, just I make you understand, okay, this is what you need to do in the gym, period. So any kind that is bending your spine forward is good. And then you have leg, which is kind of the opposite of arm. The same of arm, meaning there is a muscle above and a muscle behind. Same with the leg. You have the muscle above, which is the quad, and the muscle behind, this is the hamstring. And so you do hamstring curl, which is exactly what it sounds, is bending the knee to contract the hamstring. And you do a leg extension to actually work the quad. So there are very different ways to do it. The squat is actually something that works the legs a lot, the same as the deadlift for the hamstring. And yeah, you can even take a dumbbell and just go down with the squat. There is machine for leg extension. As I said, just take a look at people, what they are doing, and just inspire yourself. If there is an exercise that you find interesting and want to try, just try it. Honestly, that's going to do it. So now that this is done, after we are going to talk a little bit about losing fat, but this is a little more complex. But so the idea is to keep things simple. You want to choose a weight when it comes to gaining strength and muscle. Pretty much, let's keep it simple. You want to choose a weight that you can do 10, that you cannot do 10 reps with. Count. But you can at least do 6. And the more you want to work on strength, the more closer to 6 reps you need to be when you stop the set, but to failure, which means the 6th rep is the definite last rep you can possibly do. You cannot do one more. That will be more oriented to strength. And a set of weights that get you the very last reps, or even the very last rep to the 10 reps, is more toward muscle growth, let's say. But the idea is, if you want to keep it simple, you take a weight that is within between, because at the end of the day, I mean, you're going to gain strength, gain muscle. Just build your routine and go with it. You're not an athlete like me, so probably you don't need to get too complex with that. So you take that, and as soon as you are able to hit the 10th rep, you increase the weight just a little bit. So at the next session, you cannot reach that 10 reps because this is too heavy. And then you wait, and as soon as you can again hit that 10 reps, you increase a little bit. You can increase either by 2.5 kg or 5 kg. And you may ask, which one should I choose? Well, this is going to depend really on how much fatigue you tolerate the workout to interfere with your work as an entrepreneur. This one is going to, of course, lead to a slower growth, but also a lot less fatigue. That's also important to consider. Because you are just increasing very slightly each time, your body has an easy time to adapt. So that doesn't generate too much fatigue, and so you can go on with your day, with your entrepreneurship journey without much consequences, and progressively build up, get in shape, and so on. This is a little more taxing, and if you want even to go crazier, 10 kg, that's even more taxing as well. So depending on what you want, and maybe there is times that are lighter in your business during the year, and so you can try to increase the pace a little faster, and some other times that are a little bit more difficult, and so you want to increase lighter. The key here is really to understand, instead of either thinking I'm going to the gym or not, is more trying to manage the variable to manage your fatigue. Because sometimes it's just, okay, working out tired me too much to do my work, so I'm going to stop working out. Well, if you understand how things work, you will see that actually that doesn't generate that much fatigue. And another thing that you can use in order to manage your level of fatigue is how many reps close to failure you are. So that's called 3 RPE, reps in reserve. Sorry. So 3, 2, 1. Reps in reserve. Same idea here. You want to cause less fatigue, but of course this is going to cause less muscle growth and gain over time. You can stay at 3 reps in the reserve, and then go 2 and so on. So this is really, you manage your energy with that. If you feel that at the moment the workout start getting too heavy, you get too much fatigue out of the workout, and that interfere with your day-to-day business, change that. Move on to only 3 reps in reserve, do only 2.5 kg per month, or per time you reach that 10 reps. Just take it easy, but don't stop. That's the key. Just don't stop. Keep it a routine, keep it an habit that you do without even seeking. Because a lot of things something that is actually taxing you in terms of energy is also the idea that this is not an habit. This is a task that you need to get done. So that pretty much drain you of energy. Where once it's an habit that you do over and over without thinking about it, that doesn't take you any energy. So that kind of the main thing here. I believe we are kind of good. The only thing that we haven't touched on, there is a number of sets. So the number of sets will really depend also on, as I told you, how much fatigue you want to be. But let's say you are going to do, for instance, for an exercise, and let's say we are working the bicep. This is arm day, and we have bicep and tricep. You can do between 1 to 3 exercises just for the biceps, and 1 to 3 exercises just for the triceps. The idea of why 3 and not just 1. The 3 is kind of for more the advanced lifter, where they want to hit every muscle fiber in every angle possible. Because when you're, for instance, doing just a curl like this, at the top there is very low resistance, and so that doesn't provide the same squeeze. Where at the bottom, this is where this is the toughest. And so changing the exercise allow you to work more the bottom position with a curl, or with a cable. Cable actually provide you a resistance all the way through, and so that allow you to, and machine, or even better, some are actually providing you the most resistance at the top. So that's kind of why you can do 1 to 3 exercise per actual muscle that you're working. But the key here is the total number of sets that you're going to do for each muscle. So, and that's really going to also depend on you, on how tired you are again. So at low end, we are going to say that's pretty much 3 working sets. On a high end, I would say, nothing is working anymore. So yeah, 3. On high end, I would say 10 sets is more than enough. And the more advanced you will be, understand that if you need 10 sets to have your muscle pumped to the point where you cannot do 1 reps anymore, that's probably because you're not going hard enough on those sets. Where you can have only 3 sets, but if you go hard enough on each one, you can be done for the day, pretty much. But sometimes, but that's very rare, honestly, to be honest. Most of the time you will probably end up between 5 and 6 sets per muscle. That's pretty much what you need to really exhaust the muscle and get a good pump, let's say. So I guess that's it for all of that. And then there is the case where you want to lose fat, which is kind of a little bit more complex here. Because to lose fat, the issue is mainly nutrition. You need to reduce a little bit your calorie intake. But you don't want to only do that. What you want to do is actually do both at the same time. Because when you are reducing your calorie intake, what happens is your metabolism starts dropping. And so if you just drop your calorie intake, first of all, you have less energy. So that's not good for you as an entrepreneur to get your work done. So what you want to do is, if you want to have a 500 calories deficit per day, which equate, I believe, to 1 pound or 0.5 kilogram of fat per week lost. What I really recommend is dividing it in two, in minus 250 calories in food and minus 250 cal in activities. Plus, you're expending more energy, 250 calories more than you do usual, and you're reducing your intake by 250. That way you are doing more activity on a daily basis and you are eating less on a daily basis. That's kind of the way I found that is most efficient, because this is the increase in activity you are going to do is going to give you more energy on a daily basis, which is going to compensate the fact that you have less energy available with your food. And so this is the only time where your workouts can take a little bit longer, because what you want to do is pretty much not changing anything at your routine. Because the key here when you are losing fat, is the main issue is to be able to maintain your muscle mass. So all the routine we talked about earlier, you need to continue. You need to continue to stimulate your muscle to keep making them grow, because when you are losing fat, you are going to lose muscle. And so what happens is, if you are trying to stimulate your muscle to make them grow, but at the same time the diet makes you lose muscle, you will maintain. But if you are stopping this aspect, you will lose muscle as you are losing fat. So that's not good, because the less muscle you have, also the less energy you are spending on a daily basis, and so the tougher it becomes to actually lose fat. So that's not only because you want to look good, that's also because losing muscle makes you spend less energy and make losing fat more difficult. So what happens is that's really the only case where your workout will be a little bit longer, because at the end of your workout, what you want to do, or at the beginning, however you want to do it, you need to do cardio. Yes, you cannot avoid that. And enough cardio to actually get that 250 calories more that you want per day in increase. But the way I do it, and that's something is the more precise, of course, the better. But so ideally, you want to be tracking your food intake to make sure you have, for instance, let's say your baseline is 2,500. So you want to go to 2,250 in intake, and go up to, in terms of activities, to about 2,750 150 calories. So I have a tracker for how much calorie I'm spending on a daily basis, and I have so that's Whoop. If you don't know it, that's a Whoop. And the app that I'm using is called Macro Factor. This is an app that is very useful because you just need to scan the code bar, the information of the package, and it will automatically tell you count every calorie and so on. You just need to wait to know how much you're eating, and that way, honestly, that's tracking is probably the most important if you want to make sure you're losing fat and what you're doing is efficient. But I mean, that's you don't want necessarily too complex over things, but as I said, that's a question of routine. If you can incorporate that into a routine, a daily habit, and I would even argue that counting your calories, that's something you should start before you diet, before you want to lose fat. Just do it on a daily basis, just as it is. This is just an habit for two reasons. First of all, when you are doing it when you are not restricting yourself, that's much easier to make it an habit. Where when you are doing it on a diet, you have the negative reinforcement of, oh shit, I've eaten too much, or you're feeling kind of bad about yourself when you're restraining yourself, and so you're kind of linking the habit of tracking with feeling bad about yourself, with feeling stressed because you are lacking food. That's not kind of good. The idea is you build this habit outside of dieting, and so then when you're on diet, that's just the way it is. You just do it. You don't really think about it, and that way, that's really easy. Honestly, it's really about tracking when it comes to losing fat. That's really not the work is really pretty simple. You continue what you're already doing, and you do a little bit more cardio to reach your goal of expenditure. Because what you need to understand is the longer you will stay on a deficit, the lower and lower your metabolism is going to drop and drop, and so you are going to have to do more and more cardio just to keep up, just to stay to have enough energy expenditure during the day to have your deficit. But that's a good thing, because being on a diet can be very draining in terms of energy, and can get you very tired, and so that's going to be difficult to actually get your job done with your business. But by doing cardio that actually makes sure you are eating your expenditure per day, this is rising your metabolism back up to where it's supposed to be, and that boosts your energy, so that kind of compensates the fact that you are lacking food. And that's, I believe, the best way to still be able to move forward in your business, in your journey to build anything that you want to build, while stay healthy and in shape. So I hope that's interesting, that help you in any way, shape, or form. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.